Now we are going to stakeholder and then governance. And then tomorrow we are going to connect this through life cycle. Okay. So that's what we are planning to do. Now, so this stakeholder domain, I think is the easier domain from because you have been doing that, practically in your workplace as well as because you are a PMP certified, you know what are the tools, techniques, and everything in stakeholders, right? So it's going to be a rather easy process to understand and relate to things, right? But the only difference here is that the stakeholder engagement and management is quite different from what you do in projects. So we are going to understand the differences between project and program stakeholder engagement and why it is so critical, that piece, as in project, as in programs. And we'll go into some classification and strategy. So it might be a revision for some of you, but we'll still go through that. So first of things, in project stakeholder engagement, you already know most of the time who are your stakeholders. Okay, you know them upfront, or you have been told about them, and they stay constant throughout your project. But here, the stakeholders keep, it's like I said earlier as well today, it's like a political thing, right? Today, one person is from Congress, he is in BJP tomorrow, or whatsoever. Okay, people keep on changing as they think what is beneficial for them. The program, the stakeholders might exhibit a lot of change in their attitude, influence, interest, support, all these things. It is much more diverse, and the stakeholders can be large. You can't predict them upfront. You, there can be some stakeholders who can appear late in the game as well, which you are not aware. So this is going to be vast. Most of the stakeholders in projects are interested in that project output and the what the project capability you are going to get delivered. But in program, it can be varied interest. Somebody will be interested in one component. Nobody may be interested in the overall program output. Right? So the Niti Aayog is doing, say, maybe road construction across the entire India. I might be interested in the stretch between Mumbai to Goa. Okay, I may not be interested in other stretches that they are doing. My interest will be limited. Like when I was doing a government setup with ERP and all, there were many department accounts, payable, then land, revenue, then there was okay, a fire department. Not everyone was interested in the entire thing. They were interested in their own stuff, right? So you will have many stakeholders who are not interested in the entire program, but in their own pockets. So that is a very different ball game altogether. In projects, most of the time you have access to the stakeholders. In programs, some stakeholders or some high profile stakeholders might be out of your reach as well, right? Suppose I am doing a GST program, there will be some stakeholders like the finance minister out of reach of my program manager. The program manager might be belonging in Niti Aayog. It not be easy to connect with people, right? So to get a buy-in in projects is much easier to get them motivated, to keep their buying, keep their energy level high, keep them engaged is much easier. But in programs that is difficult because first you do not know the stakeholders. Then they are interested in their own stuff. So it is very difficult to keep them engaged, motivated. You need to take help of different stakeholders. Like when I was doing a large telco program across 11 regions across, they're not concerned about whether they use this new thing. It was forced by the, so they, when I was there, the steering committee or the governance board included the president of that telco, which is a very high position. It's like a CEO, and the steering committee or the governance board was one level below him, and he used to chair the meetings. So they use a lot of force that you need to do this for sure. I can't have otherwise. So force was one of the things, but generally it doesn't work if it's negative. So you, as a program manager, I was a program manager from SAS who was doing this. I didn't have access to any circle head and all. I need to take help of someone, then build relation with that circle head to get some of the things done. So it's a very, very difficult task. So the program manager should have skills, tacit skills of networking, of charisma, or as influencing, delegation, which may not be very apparent in the project oriented stakeholders, right? So in projects, you can show the project delivery, you can show the prototype, get the buying, get them energized, etc. Here in program, the benefits may come much later. It's very difficult to get the buying, difficult for the stakeholder to appreciate what we are doing as such. Okay, otherwise you're talking in air. Okay, a lot of strategies, a lot of things. Like Kumar, wait a sec, but Kumar is doing a transformation consultancy project where he wants to see number of engagements and he's trying to take surveys, but I have seen many times once they give surveys, every time they find surveys, people will be reluctant to give surveys. What they're asking again and again, all those things. It's very difficult to tell them the purpose, keep them engaged, get their contributions done. Is a mammoth task in program management as compared to project management, stakeholder engagement. Very going to be very, very difficult. Yes, Kumar, you are saying something.
Yeah. So that's I have a question, but I'm just commenting what you said. The
Ah,
regarding the survey, what I experienced that
uh-huh.
when we are giving launching any survey, sometimes also happen that it's class overlapping with the national level or the local level. So, for instance, our case it was happening in the global level. One survey for every, one is just for the country level, and then the stakeholder are complaining which survey I have to give. Why should I have to multiple survey at one time? So there is some kind of a strategy, and then as a programmer we have to tell that this is not the right time to we have to do the local survey because it's one survey is already planned at national level. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so that is one part. So my question is related to the stakeholder. So because that project level stake comes later, so could it be the subset of the program level stakeholders, or
Can be.
so probably I mean I would say that we have the key stakeholder in the beginning as we have the project level so program we identify it, but when we defining the project again the more stakeholder come into it, and then one stakeholder probably have interest in two three projects or maybe one project. So I think the happiness index or engagement depends on the how many projects they have been involved or they are directly connected.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. So, for instance, I'm just referring to the government initiative, any program. So every time you survey with it, it said 50% is or 30% where the find the excellent, 30%, 40% say they're good. Someone say okay, kind of. So government is measuring, oh, 60, 70% is at least somehow liked it. Rest are not. So always see the 40% of stakeholders, even the opposition party, they have a different kind of intent. They want to see it failure because they have a political benefit.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So what you said, right? The stakeholders can be the project stakeholders, can be the component program stakeholders. That's correct. Okay. But This stakeholders, even its component, they are for a limited duration and they know what they want, okay, from the component, right? But what I want try to take away from this slide is that project stakeholder engagement is vastly different than program stakeholder engagement. Absolutely different. It's cheese and chalk types. It's like different altogether, although they use the same techniques. Okay, so I don't know whether you have experience of doing such a wide program which will have, okay, different stakeholder, diverse stakeholders, which is out of your reach. Most of the time, we do not have that kind of experience. Okay, go ahead, Kumar.
Yeah, so I did that is something work. So during the program, so for the country level, we developed the comprehensive stakeholder list, which I felt that because I was taking for only the 6 countries, the 4 European countries, Austria, Portugal, Ireland, Switzerland. So we identified the local level stakeholders and then global level stakeholder, but not all, how they are going to impact. So, and we see in terms of as a country, we are thinking as a country program,
Okay.
not thinking a global program. So we are thinking as a country level program, who
Okay.
could be our stakeholder? And we are focusing around that, how we can engage. But again, if you see the global stakeholders, again, most of them they're out of reach, or maybe the time of setting up the communication or something, so
Yeah.
long delay.
Yeah.
Reaching out is not so easy for us
Yeah. Yeah.
because they are very CO level, CXO level, and I had to talk with the biopharma operational partner. So it's a
Exactly.
huge gap.
Yeah, exactly. Well, getting this stakeholders talking with them and you are remotely where it's all going to be damn difficult. So programs are much most difficult. Now, if I do the mapping from definition, delivery, and closure, I do it's also iterative, but identification analysis I do in definition. This feeds into the business case, and then I do the stakeholder. How to engage with the stakeholder is the stakeholder plan, right? That plan is a subsidiary plan of the program management plan. Okay, what was the output of program definition? See, these terms also artifacts you all need to know, right? And then from this, you have, okay, in delivery, you engage with the stakeholder. Here, you will review the engagement status, you will do further analysis, and in the delivery, there can be new stakeholders. So, again, you will go to the definition. So, keep on happening that. Also, we are not talk about communication. Tomorrow in program life cycle, we'll talk about communication. Stakeholder and communication go hand in hand. Whom I communicate to stakeholders, how I need to communicate, communication plan. And what I do in execution, the delivery, I distribute information and I send reports to them about how the program is progressing. Right? This is a high level stuff across the 3 different phases of the program. Yes, Kumar?
Just one question, as we define a stakeholder in the project, that's whoever getting impacted positively or negatively in the
Okay.
project, yeah, stakeholder. So for the similar we do in program as well, or it's a different definition for program, a stakeholder definition.
No, same definition. Everything remains the same. It's just that the way you approach and the way the program is structured, that is the difference. Every technique is also same.
Okay.
So we'll do that next. Right? So when I do the stakeholders, these are just indicative stakeholders. Okay. Right? So the program manager may have his program team, then there will be project manager, his team, the PMO, funding organization. These are the different stakeholders. All are stakeholders in this diagram. Clear? Okay. This is another way to map stakeholders. So you have defined the stakeholder, then you say whether he's a contributor, or he is, expecting something of the stakeholder, you can define in various ways the stakeholder. All clear? Okay. Right. I just wanted to play with terminology. Okay. Sometimes people use management, sometimes engagement. So, management is all about processes. Okay. How you engage with the stakeholder, and engage is about building relations. Right.
It's an activity.
Yeah. Both are activities. But when I say engagement, I'm trying to build a rapport with that guy.
Okay.
And management means I want to ensure that I'm following the right processes to engage with that guy. Right? Focus is to deliver the exact value, but this is what I am focusing on. So just to tell you, okay, okay, why we engage with the stakeholder, why we build rapport, and it's more important in the program, is that you want to build a higher predictability, higher trust factor, and handle the negative stress much more. The negative stress in the program management is much higher than in a project management. Okay, there can be drastic change in attitude. So you need to, as much as possible, you need to build a rapport with the different people. Right? This is very important. Okay, if you do not do, okay, no, there will be a lot of rework. Okay, no, there will be this unethical ways of achieving goal. You'll cut corners, and in the long term, unethical ways will hurt you. Right? So engaging with the stakeholder is very important. Picking your right stakeholders is very important. That's why we do analysis. Who is our right stakeholder?
And and also you said the sustaining, right? That is also very important. If
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't engage the stakeholder, you might not sustain for the longer. So once we, it's like compression is compressed spring. So we push, and then maybe during that period, because of the force, it's, you can see the deformation. Once you release as a program manager, you see that it's coming back to the same stage.
Yeah, so we will talk about some strategies and how to engage with the stakeholder. But yes, yeah. So the stakeholder engagement, bi-directional strategy. As much as you need the stakeholders, okay, they also need you because they want their needs to be covered through this program. Okay, so you need them, okay, for approvals, their decision, their inputs, their advices, and they need you for doing their stuff. They need reports, updates, addressing their issues, their queries, etc. So it's a bi-directional thing. Okay, both need each other. Now I'm going to go through a process which are very familiar, which is identifying stakeholders and then classifying the stakeholders, then what they want from you, then setting, you can't give them all, so you negotiate trade-offs and then get secure their support, get their buying for your program. It's a continuous process from 1 to 5. You can add new stakeholders. You can know some stakeholders can get released from your stuff. So you already continuously you do assessment of the stakeholders at regular frequency. So we will do how to do assessment as well. Okay, let us do this. Okay, identifying the stakeholder. Okay, so this is, you have already done that. It might be a complete refresher for you. So I'm dividing, okay, in on x-axis is interest, y-axis is power. This is low interest, this is high interest, this is low interest, low power, this is high power. So I get 4 quadrants, right? Low interest, low power, high interest, low power, high power, low interest, and high power, high interest, right? You're aware of that. Let's take a program which is like everyone is used to. Okay, let's take, rather than I'm volunteering you to suggest, I'm going to suggest. is the metro program. Okay. I had a program manager from Mumbai Metro some 3, 4 months, 6 months back, I guess. Okay. Now Mumbai Metro has launched. So Mumbai Metro has 132 stations. Okay, it's a huge network. Okay, so let us have Mumbai Metro, and you know what is Metro? I think is happening in every city, Pune, Hyderabad. Everyone, everywhere there is work happening. So Kumar, where you stay? You are from Mumbai. Which city? You are Bangalore original. Now you are in Raipur. I know
Yeah, Bangalore based, sir.
Bangalore. Okay, I don't know whether there is happening. I guess there is also happening Metro. I'm sure. Okay. So let's have Metro. You are the program manager. I want you to identify from your assumptions or experience some stakeholders in this quadrant, all the quadrants. So let's assume that you are a program manager for the metro. You are constructing the metro line for your city. Whom you think would be in high interest and high power?
The
Well, of
financial
course.
institutions, banks.
Sorry, one at a time.
Karnataka, the Bangalore, Karnataka government.
No, don't put every government. Okay, you need to specify one person. Okay, well, not
Ministry
a name,
of
not a designation.
Ministry of
Okay,
Transport. What is it
Minister
called?
of Transport. Okay,
Railways, something, yeah.
Railways minister. One person.
okay. Let's say chief of some body. Okay, MMRD. I know in Mumbai. Okay, okay. Who else?
The financial institution who's funding the project.
Okay, lovely. Financial institution. Some guy who is funding the project. From where the money is coming. Okay, he is also highly interested how the funds are utilized, and he has high power as well. Yeah, agreed. Okay, who else?
The consult.
Mumbai Roads
Sorry.
and Buildings Department, R&B, because they have to acquire this land. They are the ones who.
Okay, the land guys, okay, who needs to work on this. There will be high power. Okay, I agree with you. Okay, who else?
And the designers, the consultant designers.
High power designer consultant.
They don't have
high power when you construct a building in South. Do designers have high power in the program? I would rather put the consultants here. They're highly interested with low power. Relatively, this is all relative comparisons. Okay. Consultants, designers, architects, okay, whoever it is. Correct. Who else? Who will be just high power? Oh, go ahead, Ahmed.
No, it's not high power.
Who will be high power or any of this? Who else will be high interest, low power?
So there is one opposition.
The people. The people who will be using this, sometimes the passengers, they may have high interest, but they don't have any power.
The future commuters. Okay.
Future commuters.
Commuters would be no, highly interested. No, suppose I want to go and take a Mumbai metro to my office, so I want to know when it will happen to reduce my time to travel, etc. Yeah. Common people, I would put it here. The Aam Admi or the Mango people, okay, they will come here, right? Low interest, low power. That's okay. Happening. Okay, they are not so much concerned. Who else? Okay, who will come in high power, low interest?
Obviously, the opposition party, maybe BJP again.
Okay, opposition party or maybe opposition MLA party. Okay, maybe the chief minister or something of that sort. CM, who has many other projects, chief minister, but he has high power. He can do some things which will do that. Okay, in Mumbai there is this Shiv Sena who is making some noise. Okay, opposition people, all these people, yeah. These are high power. Okay, high power are like your veto guys. Okay, they like your skip level managers. They come for meeting and announce a decision without discussing,
Without
oh,
funding.
this program needs to be terminated, and they will go off. And you will say that, oh, why he had done that? Let me talk with him. What is this? But these are the guys who announce and go. They have such power. They have that veto power. They do it with their own reasoning, which you may not understand. These are these guys, high power, low interest. Okay, given this, let us stop here. This is a continuous exercise. But given this high power, these are your key stakeholders. High power, high interest. Now you are a program manager. How you will try to engage with them as a broad strategy?
Very closely with that bracket, high power, high interest are the ones I'll almost work very closely, very, very closely.
Yes, yeah, you will work very closely. That's the good word. Okay, that's the PMI also uses. It's a very closely, which means that you will actually be working with them. Okay, getting their thoughts in. You will bouncing your thoughts, discussing on almost a daily basis. What's the update? Getting their advice. So you're engaging them on a very regular basis.
Okay.
These are your key people. Without their support, your program may not happen. Right? What about these guys who have veto power?
We'll keep them
We
updated.
have
Yeah,
to
for sure.
keep them informed
Keep them informed, only informed.
so that they, yeah, so
Your
that they will
skip
use
level
their,
managers, your skip level, you just keep them informed. These guys are like, no, it appears like they are a little whimsical. Okay, appears they may not be. Okay, they are in their own world. No, it appears to us they are in their own world. They are on some other planet. They don't understand things, but they have their own reasoning.
Yeah.
So how you will deal with these guys? Keeping updated will only help.
No, not just that.
These are the people you want to be very happy, satisfied about what is happening. So they need some other report which is not related to metro. Suppose, no, what is about the car shed which is happening on the other side? What is the what is the cost of acquiring a metro train from other country? They need some some arbit questions. Don't ask them why you want this. This is not related. Give them what they want.
Keep them satisfied is something.
Keep them satisfied. Keep them happy. Okay, don't unnecessarily question them. Oh no, you don't understand what is happening. You're asking me arbit questions here. No, give them whatever. Keep them happy. Okay, they have their own point of views.
And these people are usually skeptical, cynical. When they come to the meeting, they don't do any pre-work and just appear and then ask any kind of question.
Yeah, exactly. So they yeah. So you need to make them happy. Maybe give them all the information before the meeting. Tell them a quick update before the meeting. Show the small things will make them happy. Okay.
And especially I felt in my experience, I used to share the agenda before in hand
Yeah,
and
that's a good idea.
not setting the meeting just maybe immediately. We plan them in advance, 2 weeks, 3 weeks advance, and tell them these are the agenda we are going to
Yeah.
conduct. These are the decision point we have to take.
Yeah.
And then they come for the otherwise they will come and think, oh, why should I have to come here? Why should I have to ask me? Why didn't you give the time?
Exactly. So that's a good idea. We keep them happy. The small things matter to them, these guys. They will remember the small things. Okay, like you gave the agenda, which is a very good example. Okay, giving them agenda, preparing them for the meeting, saying that this one point is a very critical point to be discussed, because that time is essence for them. Understand that. No, help them to spoon feed them as much as possible.
And tell them the expectation, what we are expecting in that meeting from him or her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that is good. You spoon feed them all the things. Okay, how you need to do the meeting. Okay, don't no when I say people when I say make them happy, most of the guys say them take them out for a lunch or a dinner. That doesn't mean make them happy. Okay, general answer feedback I get from many people is that no, make them happy means take him out, not necessary. Okay, good. Okay, so this is your high power. What about this guys? High interest, low power.
Oh, they are the performers.
We have to monitor.
Monitor what these guys will do. Okay, these guys can screw up your project. High power, low interest. High interest, low power will care what they will do on the program. They're highly interested, but no power or low power.
So
They
I
are the
felt
performers. They are the ones who deliver this, right? They are kind.
Yeah, but they will anyway deliver. No, they get money for that. If they don't deliver, they'll out of the company. Designers, architect, consultants. So they need to do their work. So as a program manager, what do you need to do them?
so we need to monitor and keep them aligned with the program objective. That's what I felt.
Okay, like a
Because
future commuter. Okay, what he will do? He doesn't have any power to change the metro. What he will do with him?
but we have a timeline, right? Timeline, the alignment we have to do.
You don't do it now. Next 5 years, you do not do it. I'm getting you elected. You are in BJP, for example. You don't do it. What will happen? What these future commuters will do? What they don't have power. What they will do? So these guys are like
They
your
will vote.
ambassadors for their program. Sorry.
No, you're just saying they will vote for the next the opposition party. That's the only thing. They have to wait for 5 years.
No, yeah, they will vote after 5 years. Nothing. No, but these are your ambassadors, okay, for your program. So they spread positive or negative messages about your program, your designers, consultants. So if you give them like a future commuter, for example, if you tell them how the metro is progressing, what is the work happening in the metro, how it will ease out your life, when this is going to happen, what are the new technologies here. If you give them a lot of good information, they will feel good. Okay, this is really good stuff India is doing. This is good stuff this metro is doing. And they will tell them to their coterie, their groups. If you don't tell them what they will tell, they'll bitch about your this thing. Okay, the same old story. These guys are not doing it. They come up with big talks, initiatives. Nothing happens. No, I'm not going to vote for them next time. Okay, I will tell them 10 other people about the same thing. Right? Even consultants, architect, designers, suppliers, whoever it is. They will. So here you need to keep them informed. Keep them updated. Tell them about what is happening. You can tell them what is going to happen, because this will give the positive vibes about the program. And what about this common people, general low interest or laborers? This will be in that. What do you need to do as a program manager?
Control and monitor.
Minimum attention. Okay, you don't have to bother about this people. You don't have so much of bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
Other things to do. Right. So the guy, what I'm trying to suggest is that you need to understand your time really very well, right? So also these stakeholders which we have identified can change their position. Today this guy is into this low interest, low power. He can come in to keep informed here in the second part because of change of direction. Some key stakeholder can move here, this can move here. This can happen during the course of the program. So this analysis can change during the course of program. There might be a new stakeholder who enters, some old stakeholder goes away. A lot of things can happen. So you need to keep on analyzing throughout the stuff. So once you analyze, okay, you will need to enter into a stakeholder register with the strategies. Okay. So this is one strategy, this is other strategy, right? So high stakeholders partnership. These are the very few stakeholder, Pareto principle. 20% of these stakeholders would be there, 80% effort will be on these people. These are your greatest support.
Could you repeat? I didn't get it.
No, I'm saying 80% of your effort will be on the 20% of your stakeholders, which are your key stakeholders. Right? And this will be your high power, low interest. like Kumar said, try to make them contribute to the program. Spoon feed them. This is what I am expecting from you. Can you come and deliver a pep talk to my team? Get them involved in this. Show their involvement. This will enhance your program a lot. High power people, when other people see they're part of the program, it is on a different level. Right? And then the high interest consultations. And then push communications to them. Get advices from the experts like architects, designers, whatever. Or push communication. Push communication means send them on the email box, whatever. Send newsletter to them. So on their WhatsApp, you can read that. And for low interest, low power, pull communication. Then store there on some government site or on your Google Drive. Tell them the information store there, pick up from there. Pull it from there. Right? This should be a strategy. So you should know. Now in project, because a handful you somehow manage with your time. But here, vast, you need to have a strategy. Without a strategy, it may not work. Right?
So we need to have maybe multiple strategy together. So for instance, high influence and low interest. So participation and consultation we have
Yes.
to do.
Yes. That's why there is a little overlap. But yes. Yeah. So high power, you can have consultation as well. Correct? That's how it is. Okay. So idea is to engage with the stakeholder, understanding what they want from the program, what is their attitude of the program, etc. Okay. So involving them in making them contribute to the program is a very good technique to do that. Eliciting feedbacks from the stakeholder, supporting them in their endeavors, what they want. Okay. Sometimes in a large program, you actually initiate component just to make other stakeholders happy. He is a very key, powerful stakeholder. He wants a single window clearance portal to manage his own unit. There's nothing to do with the program. You make it, give it to him, make him happy so that he is in your team. That's a decision you can take. Okay, you can do that. Correct? Okay. So, one second. Okay, so this is your stakeholder plan where it talks about how to engage with your stakeholder. It will have the stakeholder register, what the needs are, what is their degree of influence, what is the strategy to engage with them, okay, and how you will assess the stakeholder engagement. All this will be as a part of the plan. Right? This is your stakeholder register example. I have given the templates in the program management, okay, no ProThoughts site. So you can use templates as well to do this. This is just an example. It's like an Excel sheet where you maintain how to communicate them, who will communicate them with them. That is also a thing which you can do. This is the support level, whether is a neutral supportive leader. I will show you that. Okay. You will also write, maybe I used to write, who will map from your program management organization with this guy. Whether you will do, your manager will do, your skip level manager will do. You will try to do when he will do the meetings, how you will communicate. All this is a part of the stakeholder register. Right?
Ashish, there's one point. We have to take care of the hierarchy also. If someone is a very senior person in, and a stakeholder, then probably he would like only the seniors should contact him and not.
Yeah, exactly. The mapping should be done. Okay. Like I will tell you an example. When I was working with a government sector and where I realized that hierarchy and positions do matter. So I was the program manager for that program. and I was very young, okay, at that time, like it's that no, sometime back. And the person with who was the counterpart, he was very senior, like 57, 58 years old, very, and he didn't like the fact that a kid like me was a counterpart. He got very upset. And then, and but my team said that he's the best guy we had, and my team persisted with him. But he showed that so many times that it like humiliated. Well, no, he showed that thing and very vocal about that. And within 2 months we had to change the our organized structure, where I got a skip level manager flying from Delhi only to meet him to satisfy his ego. The work was done by me only, but that's what happens. Yes, rightly pointed out, Santosh. That happens. Yeah, great. Okay, so this I would like to show you one thing about. I don't know whether I have not included perhaps, but I will show you that, which you might be knowing as well. But a simple technique of uh, doing a stakeholder engagement.
So that is something from the PMP with engagement level, right? So supporting the leading.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have like an Excel sheet, and then you have the stakeholders. So you name the stakeholder 1, 2, 3, and then you have different levels here. Okay. So generally there are 5 levels. Like one is unaware, then the second is resistant stakeholder. Okay. Then third is neutral, then fourth is supportive, and the fifth is leading.
Leading, yeah.
Okay, so you have one stakeholder, first stakeholder, whoever is that from the stakeholder register, you map him whether he's a neutral. And so this is your current state. And then you name it that you want to take him to a leading position, desired. Okay. Generally, unaware stakeholder first becomes resistant and then becomes neutral. This is a logical progression. Okay. So there is whatever current state, you want to make it to desired state, or whatever here you want to make. So you put these strategies, how to get these stakeholders to a desired state, and use this to assess where these stakeholders currently are. So you do at a periodic frequency, at least for the key stakeholders. This is called stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. Right? You might be using it as well. So this is what it is. Right? Now there are some actors. Okay. These are the actors. Okay. This is PMI doesn't say that. I have included that from my research. But yeah, so you can have a lot of actors, okay, in the stakeholder. Sorry, in your program. Yes, Vishnu.
So Ashish, like how we used to have a table, where you know what are all the tools and techniques, likewise faces and knowledge area and all the activities, tasks within it. Like that for program management, do we have like this grid? This is awesome grid. Likewise, do we
Yeah,
have?
tomorrow we'll have that program life cycle.
Oh, super. Okay, thank you.
I'll connect that all the things. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
right. We'll have some kind of a grid. I'll show you tomorrow. Okay. It is not elaborative, but it's a detailed grid. I'll show you tomorrow. We'll go through that. Right? Okay. So these are your program actors. Okay. The sponsor is one who funds. Typically, a sponsor might be a portfolio manager. Okay. This is the operations guy. This may or may not be the case. Okay. Program office may or may not, depends on the large program. We have included the program office. And the director, okay, is the one who is getting the money and he's owning the vision of the program. So you can say that director is a very key player in the governance board. Okay. So the program manager is responsible for delivery, the budget, and planning the program. The director is responsible from the governance board for the charter and the business case. See the difference, okay? Program management will prepare it. He's owning it. Somebody asked me about accountability. If the program is smaller, these two can be merged together as well. Okay, I'm just giving you an idea about who can be the possible actors in this, right? Okay, so this director is the one who has the accountability. He's the chairman. He is the portfolio manager who funds the program, right? So this is how a large program is managed. When we do governance, it is very important that these people have diverse experience. You don't want to form a coterie of people who are good with themselves. You need a good debate within the governance body as well. So choosing these people is half the battle won. Very important. I always feel now I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. If someone asks me what is required to successful entrepreneur, of course there is a passion, drive, and all. But getting the right team is also damn important. Okay, getting the right people in your team, and that's a process. Okay, becomes damn important. Right. So this is getting the right people is a very critical aspect of succeeding in a program. Okay, I can't stress more on this. Okay, getting right people in your program, right? So I think this is good enough. I don't want to get into details on this, but I have explained it very clearly. But if you have questions, I will be happy to answer these questions. Okay, this is one slide which I love it. Just tells you from a skill set point of view how each one is very different. So when I say tacit, okay, it's implicit. It cannot be, seen. Program manager is more of that. If you see, he has a lot of softer skills, whereas a project manager has a lot of hard skills. So there is a vast difference between a project and a program manager. And it's good that we are taking this journey. It's not like, you are made up of only this, you can't acquire this. It's a part of process. You can acquire this. Right?
Portfolio in between, right? The project and
Yeah, it's a mix of both the things. Okay. See, this is just to tell you that the takeaway of the slides. Okay. Sometimes we exaggerate when we prepare slides. But just to tell you, a program manager has more of tacit skills than harder skills than any of these three. Like charisma is written, right? Charisma, political acumen, okay, networking, delegation, flexibility. Now, flexibility. So, one of the very difficult parts, if a project manager is transitioning into program management, a project manager is very rigid. He's not a flexible guy. It doesn't naturally come to him because you're honed into a project manager. You're meticulous. You're thing. You suddenly say that now you manage a program. It becomes very difficult for him. You're saying open up. उसको जो चाहिए उसको दे दो. No, do that. It's really difficult because you are like guarding your scope. It is like in your blood. You are ingrained in the way you think. It becomes difficult. But as we are growing, we need to unlearn things, get new skills. So these are your new skills. Okay. Like everyone needs negotiation skills. Okay. So this gets translated into like a political acumen. Every skill is required. Communication skills are required here as well, here as well. I'm saying more of this. Clear? Any questions? Okay. So this both are required in stakeholder management as well as engagement. My stress would be more on engagement. Okay. So the idea in a program is that you have diverse stakeholders, very important to analyze, identify your key stakeholders. It may not be very apparent as it is in the project. So it's very important that you engage with the stakeholder at every instance that you get and build rapport with this key stakeholder.